If you a true boxing fan, get your toe-to-toe Savage apparel. Go to toe-to-toe-savage.com and get your toe-to-toe Savage apparel. It is epic, as you see here. I wear toe-to-toe Savage apparel on a day-to-day basis, going to the gym, going to the boxing gym, or wherever. It just makes you feel like a gorilla. Get your toe-to-toe Savage.
Concern for him is that you get so many fights and you spend so much time in the gym and you fight a certain level of competition. He's 35 and on. He hasn't fought an elite guy yet. Some people say nobody wants to fight him, but you still got to deal with the fact that you haven't had that type of danger that you need on the other side of the ring to turn your senses on at the highest level. We can see what your defense is when you got real danger in front of you. We can see what your offense is when you got real danger in front of you. And I see Boots at times get hit with shots that works with this guy, but it's not going to work with that guy. And what happens is if you spend too long at a certain level, you start to get a false sense of yourself. You assume and you tell yourself, I can take a shot. I walk through that. Why can't I walk through this? I walk through this in sparring. Sparring is different than a fight. This level is different than this level. Do you have any concerns about where Jaron Boots Ennis is right now in his career? And if he doesn't get this Virgil Ortiz situation, what next?
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So many people have sent me this clip of Andre Ward and Roy Jones Jr. on their podcast discussing the phenom, as I refer to him as, who is the former unified IBF, WBA Ring Magazine welterweight world champion, now the WBA interim junior middleweight world champion, Jaron Boots Ennis, who is 35 wins, no loss, no draw, 31 wins by way of knockout. And Andre Ward, who is an Olympic gold medalist, he is a undefeated retired two-division world champion, former unified super middleweight, former unified light heavyweight, and Hall of Fame superstar boxer, who is 32 wins, no loss, no draw, 16 wins by way of knockout. And I don't need to go over the credentials of the great Roy Jones Jr., who many compared the skill set and talent of Jaron Ennis to. And Roy Jones is somebody who's credible to critique Jaron Ennis. So many people send me this clip and ask me what's my thoughts on it. My thoughts is Andre Ward is 1,000% correct. And my thoughts is Roy Jones was trying to cover up for Jaron Boots Ennis. Roy Jones was saying, well, you got to give him credit for fighting guys like Ennis, who was quote unquote like a boogeyman. Nobody wanted to fight. That's not true at all. And Ennis had 15 fights. Good fighter. His biggest win was beating Butayev. They all got their belts because Terrence Crawford vacated it. The point Andre Ward is making is that Jaron Ennis is 28 years old with 35 fights, and he doesn't have any marquee names on his resume. And Roy Jones goes on to say that he showed him something against Usima Lima. He didn't show you anything. When you say that you need tune-ups so you can get acclimated before you fight the best in the division, well, you're supposed to look good against them because it's a tune-up. That's why you chose that fight. You chose the lesser of the two to get acclimated as practice before you go into the big fights. So you were supposed to shine against Usima Lima. You chose him to shine. So you didn't do something spectacular. You did what you were supposed to do. And Andre Ward's point is that ultimately, as I always say, familiarity and comfortability is stronger than anything on earth outside of natural forces like water and things of that nature. I'm talking about your mentality and the harm you can do to yourself. When you're comfortable and you're familiar with a situation, you'll stay there regardless if you know 1000% it's not good for you. Because people are afraid of change. And what Andre Ward is saying is that he's staying in his comfort zone where he's looking good and can get away with the things he's getting away with in the ring. But what happens when he faces guys who are not going to succumb to his skill set, his hand speed, and his power? What happens when they can take what you're dishing out and now you got to take what they dishing out? Right? And at 154, there's some major problems there at 154 for Jaron Ennis that I think he could pass the test. I'm personally going to choose him against anybody at 154. Although there's some fights that are 50-50 and are questionable, like Bakram Murataliev. That's a very difficult fight. But nonetheless, Andre Ward, you guys asked me my thoughts. I think he's 1000% right. And I think Roy Jones was doing the cover up, right? Maybe it was just a good cop, bad cop situation. There's no way you could say he looked great against Usima Lima and he proved anything to you. What did he prove against Usima Lima? Nothing. He chose him specifically to look good against. So how can we rave when you look good against him? And then when you had big fights offers at 154 and then you say you need tune-ups, well, again, people are going to question your resume. People are going to question your competitive nature. People are going to question your motives. And they're well in their right to do so, period. But again, he says this Saturday he's going to be front and center with Eddie Hearn, his promoter, at Virgil Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin, and he wants the Virgil Ortiz fight now. So let's see how it unfolds and plays out, man. But everybody has a point that criticizes him. He can't argue that, period. It's fair criticism, period. But let me know what y'all think, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all in one word. It's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.